me, it's super important that you guys are here, and I'm glad that you guys are at least dedicated enough to be here for me. Um, I don't care if, like I said, if it's just three people, it's just three people. At least you guys are having fun and you guys care enough about science and you're at least interested enough. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge this week. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking, kind of like I did uh, a couple weeks ago, where I kind of explained something and then you get to try it, because this is actually a really fun one. Now, did either of you take a chance and look at Tinkercad at all? Did you kind of mess with it? Any of you mess with it at all?
Well, my mom couldn't figure out the password, but I
Oh,
would have if she did.
okay. Well, maybe she goofed it up. If not, if you need me to help you set it up, just let me know, okay? Just send me,
Okay.
you know what my email is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my mom does. I have no
Okay.
idea. I don't know.
If it's stuck, just send me an email for help, okay? So
Okay.
that I want you guys to try it. It's really fun. It's tough to get logged into it. It's tricky, but we'll help you get through it, okay? It's not like I'm really going anywhere.
I want to play
It is a lot of fun. It is tough, but it's a lot of fun. So, all right, this week is going to be
it.
really cool, okay? And maybe you've seen
Check
these
the
before.
time right in front of the screen.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you here. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So, anyway, yeah, no, you're fine. All right, so what we have this week is probably one of my favorite things that we did when I was in high school. It was actually one of my uh, projects that I had to do for a grade. And these are what are called Rube Goldberg machines. And Rube Goldberg machines show us how the transfer of energy works. All right. Because he was a really neat guy. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, he was actually an engineer, but he decided to take up drawing comics. But what he did is he took very simple tasks, like something as simple as, okay, yes, this is old school, you guys. You used to have to change the channel on the television. But he used to take something as simple as trying to change the channel, but making it ridiculously complex by setting up this very complex machine with multiple things that would happen that were ridiculously silly, that made no sense. For some, it'd take more time to set it up than actually do it. It's kind of like the old Wile E. Coyote's really overly complex traps to catch um, our friend the Roadrunner. So this kid right here, sitting on the sofa, wants to change the channel on this old television here. Well, he set it up by going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L steps. So that's like 15 steps just to go here when he could just stand up and go. So he's going to use a fishing pole to pull on it, which is going to tip the teapot to fill the water in the fishbowl. You got to use your imagination a little bit to raise it up to tip this ball into the basket, which pulls up this little thing here underneath this little thing here that rolls the carrot, that opens the cage. I think it's gonna jet through here. Wait, K. Oh, J. Still not sure how that's gonna work. 100% not sure, but it is all gonna work itself out. Probably flips the carrot up. The carrot comes down. Bunny Rabbit goes over there and hits it. It's kind of weird and complex. It's really silly, which doesn't make any sense. All right, needlessly complex for something as easy as what it is. Okay, they took this idea of the Rube Goldberg machine and actually turned it into a game. This game doesn't really make much sense when you actually roll the dice and do these things. But when you put this game together in Mousetrap, which you guys probably don't know this, but I had this when I was a kid. All right, it was ridiculously fun. You start with this marble here, and the marble goes here. It tips the bucket, which rolls down here, flips this big ball into this little tub, which activates this little lever. Oh, wait, no, my bad. I started wrong. You actually, I did it wrong. I was halfway through. You actually start here. You put this ball in this bucket. You pull back on this little lever here. It hits the bucket. The bucket kicks over this tub. It rolls down this little ramp right here. It goes around back here into this ramp that hits this little lever here that tips this over, knocks a big ball into this big bathtub. The bathtub goes down. There's a little guy that stands here. It hits this, flips the guy over, and when it hits this, it drops the little mousetrap on your little mouse if you happen to be right there, which, I don't know. It was more complex than what it was. And you're supposed to get the cheese. Kind of weird. When we played this as a kid, we really didn't go around the thing. Actually, what we did is we just set up the silly mousetrap and had more fun with it that way. It's a ridiculously complex. In fact, it takes more time to set it up. And what it shows us is the very simple law of conservation of energy, or law of energy conservation. That law governs everything we do. It says energy is not created or destroyed, it only changes form. I can't just snap my fingers and energy comes out of nowhere. All right, I can't do that. If we could figure out how to do that, you'd basically be breaking the laws of physics. And if you do figure that out, please let me know so I can have like a 1 to 5% stake in your company. Please. Okay. We can only change form. Because when I take the energy is actually stored chemical energy from my breakfast that's being changed from a mechanical stored energy to a mechanical or a moving energy, which turns into a sound energy by moving the waves through the air, and it creates that sound. A lot of the time when we do activities, especially outside right now, if you go stand outside and try to be as blobby as you can, right, and do absolutely nothing, you get very warm. Because the air temperature is very high, it creates a warmer body temperature. The thing that we produce a lot of that's good for us as warm-blooded things is heat. But unfortunately, heat is a waste product. If there was a way to take all the heat we generated and recycle it into an energy, let me know, okay? Because we can't do that. We can't recycle wasted heat. All the heat that comes off of me right now is being wasted. All the heat that's coming from the warmth outside, the excess heat, we're losing it. If we could trap the heat from, let's say, like a bonfire, if we could trap that and reuse it, that'd be amazing. If we could figure out how to do that, that would be awesome. But we can't because heat's a waste, okay? We can change light or any type of energy from one form to another. Okay, so a good example, plants are outside doing photosynthesis right now. That's taking sunlight and turning it into chemical energy, which is food. Food is chemical energy. We can change electrical into mechanical energies, like taking batteries and making it power things. Okay, I can turn it from, this is kind of a stored chemical energy, which is my battery, and turn it into electrical energy for my phone. Right now, I'm taking electrical energy for my screen and you guys are watching me. Well, that electrical energy is being turned into light energy so that you're able to see what we're talking about. You can see my face. And I can see your faces, which is kind of weird, but that's okay. You guys are kind of weird, but that's okay. We still like you. But a lot of the time we lose energy in the transfer. And actually, 4th of July is coming up, which we use fireworks. Fireworks are a great way to show energy transfer because we change it from stored chemical energy, but we actually use the waste energy of the light and sound to make it do cool things. By using different chemicals combined with gunpowder, we can make fireworks have different effects, different colors, and it's all how you pack it in there. It's all how you do it. Actually, the physics or the science behind building fireworks is actually pretty interesting, and it's kind of complex and kind of dangerous. So when we think about what you're going to do is you're going to be going from potential to kinetic energy. Potential is stored, okay? Like charging up your phone stores energy in the battery. Me eating a sandwich stores energy for later that I can use. Setting up fireworks, okay, that's stored chemical energy, okay? It has the potential, the ability to do something. I have a cat laying on my bed right now. It's storing up energy to do something later, probably sleep, okay? So it has the potential to do something. All of the things, like all of these pieces of jewelry back behind me, could fall off. They have the potential to fall down, a chance to fall down. But kinetic energy is when we have energy in motion. And a good way to show that is I can show you with my terribly set up little thing right here. So I have this little thing going on right here. And right now it's set up and ready to go. It has potential, right? It has the ability to do something. Whoop, that's upside down. Whoop, there we go. It has the potential to do something. So I've got these little domino pieces right here. I've got this little domino piece down here. We'll see if it actually works. And so I've got this set up just for fun to show you like one part that you could do with a Rube Goldberg machine, and that would be this transfer of energy. So right now, all of this energy is potential. It's stored. It's not doing anything. But as soon as I do something with it, if I add a little bit of energy, I upset the balance and I go from potential to kinetic. And my goal is to have this go up the stairs, hit the ball, and roll down the ramp to hit this. Should we see if it works? Let's see if it works. Well, it kind of worked. Ish. Oh, completely missed. But you get the idea, okay? I transferred the energy that was stored in these little pieces right here, these little pieces, on top of these Legos, on this little marble that was sitting on top of some Legos, and I did knock it. Now my table slopes a little bit. And when it hit the top one, it converted it into an energy that could be used. Actually, I kind of did. So if I did this, if I were to have this right, so by transferring it from here, 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 and here, if I drove a little car into this and I pushed it, oh, hey, that worked. All right. So it's all about setting it up and getting it correct. So I could have had this hit a little car. I could have had this do a whole bunch of different things, but it's all about going from potential. See, this is stored. I'm setting it up. It has the potential, the ability to do something, but it's not doing anything right now. Something like that. Okay? That's just one part of a thing that you could use. Dominoes and marbles and ramps are really a core part of Rube Goldberg machines. Okay? You see it a lot of crazy things, a lot of pulleys and things, a lot of things on switches that like little clamps that get released like clothespins. Okay? So it's really kind of a neat thing. It's kind of funny. And when you do this challenge, here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm not going to be talking very long today, but I'm going to show you some examples. The idea is to try to make a machine do something really simple. When I was in high school, I designed it on my own to try. We had to do this. We had to build a small little machine that changed energy at least 10 times. Okay, and every time it switches, so running into these little pieces, okay, that was 1. Knocking into the ball would be 2, and then hitting the piece down at the bottom would be 3. Okay, so hang on, let me stop that shit. So, wrong button. So if I were to do this, if I were to go up these steps, this is 1 change of energy, this is 2, and then that is 3. Okay, so that would actually be 3 changes in energy. Okay, gravity is your friend with this. Okay, so that's 3 changes of energy. That's part of the way there. It's really not that hard. Okay, does that kind of make sense? That's not too hard. So if I had a little car rolling down a ramp, hit these dominoes, knock that, that'd be like 4 or 5 right there. That any problem. Okay. And you want to do a simple random task. I tried to have it where I put a pop can with a spoon underneath the tab and tried to push down on the spoon or pull down on the spoon and have it open, pull up on with a string on a spoon to make the pop can open. It kind of worked, not great. I didn't have enough oomph to actually pull the tab up. Okay? Think of something simple you could do. Okay? Turn on a light switch. Make it so that you put, when you have 2 pieces of bread in a toaster, something where it goes through 10 changes and pushes down the button for a toaster. Have it do something like, oh goodness, turn the page in a book for you. I've seen it where they have it like take a picture using like a camera, or maybe have it, I don't know. There's a lot of weird, silly things. Set off an alarm clock, ding a bell, okay? Something really simple and silly that you could do. Pull open the door of a refrigerator. Who cares? It's keep it simple and really think about it. it's going to fail a lot. Trust me, it will fail a lot. Like my example here, down over in this spot over here, it failed a lot. I had to be able to set it up and try it again. You'll get halfway through, it'll be great. Then you'll have to it'll goof up. You'll have to reset it and try it again. Trust me, it's not going to go correctly the first time. Let me show you an example of something really silly. This guy, okay, I think he's a French guy. He's going to make a ridiculously complex, I'm going to mute this because there's no reason, but what I want you to do is 2 minutes. I want you to watch this guy make a page-turning thing for him on the newspaper. Simple as doing this, but watch how complex he makes it with a Rube Goldberg machine. There are so many different cool examples. Search Rube Goldberg machines. There's so many cool examples. All right, let's see if we can get this right. Can you guys see this? All right, I know he's a crazy Frenchman. So here he is. Starts by putting the cup of coffee down. Okay, it's going to hit a ladle. That's going to cause a chemical reaction. That lights a fuse. Watch the fuse that lights. Okay, there goes 1, 2, and the next one. 3, obviously this has fire and that's probably not a smart choice for you. Okay, 4 here, watch what happens now. It rolls across them, down a ramp, turns on a little burner. It's gonna cause this chemical to boil, or this like tea or whatever to boil. And it's gonna create a lot of steam. So the steam is gonna get soaked up into that sponge. Just drops the ball. A lot of people use books. Okay, here goes. Oh, and he breaks, yeah. Uh-oh. Pulls that. You'd think this is easy. I got it stuck there. There goes a computer. Hair dryer, which I don't know what that does with the little hamster. He just runs away from the heat. There goes the pan. A lot of it's, oh, here we go, and the page turning. Beautiful. So, ridiculous, right? Ridiculously silly. Overly complex for something simple. And that's the point of Rube Goldberg projects. And that's the point of doing this. Because it's all about taking something as turning a page in a book or in a paper like this, just turning a page, writing a note. Something as simple as that, to make it that ridiculously complex, seems like a whole lot of time to do. And you could tell, the neat thing is you could tell he had done this a few times. The reason you can tell that is when you go into this part with if you watch this, you can tell that these have been burned a little bit before from the fuse a couple times. See how there's that's just a black mark on there. Yeah, see there's some black marks on there, but that sponge had to be slightly damp because it would take a lot of time to produce that much steam, and he would have had to have adjusted that gas burner before to make sure it burns well. See, because it flares up and then it flames back down and then it tilts a little bit, which is kind of not the safest, but it's burning really nicely. It's going to boil. And here's how you know he's kind of done this, because it has to have a little bit of moisture. And you wonder, see, yeah, because he's got that to do that just perfectly. This is the part that's really confusing, because he would have had to have practiced this multiple times if you think about it. Because this falling off right here, this falling off right here, this falling off right here, and getting this cup to roll correctly would have had to have been practiced a couple times. Maybe it was something different. Because see, watch how this cup rolls. It grabs a piece of sticky tape, and then it pulls that pencil. I'm sure he had to have practiced that a couple times to get the correct curve of that cup to get it to work. This, I don't know. I mean, that's Tabasco bottles and a hamster with a hair dryer. I don't know why you would do that, whatever. I think this is my favorite part right here. The little pan, it's going to fall and it releases that so it can roll because he's probably got his table at a little bit of an angle. And there you go. And it turns the page. It's ridiculously silly. Okay? He could have just done it himself. But the whole point of Rube Goldberg machines is to do something ridiculously simple in the most complex and odd way possible. Okay? It's all about transfers of energy. When you do it for the first time, keep it simple. Start with some very simple things like moving dominoes up to hit a ball or a car and roll it down a ramp. Get that figured out. Okay? Some other ideas, work on dropping a weight and pulling something. You might have to make a pulley. I like the idea of him having the pencil in the computer and it snapped it shut. It's a great idea. Okay, using a weight, pulling something off of a table, always a great idea. Okay, let me find, there's a great site. Here it is. Okay, I like this. Okay, there at this site right here, it's called, I don't know, it's called coolmaterial.com. And what it does is it showed some really neat and interesting Rube Goldberg projects. Okay, this is where I got the page turner. This guy does a whole bunch of them, I guess. Some other ideas. This Honda, the Cog, was actually a 2-minute commercial using all sorts of pieces of cars to do this really complex one. And you guys can watch it yourselves. It was a great commercial at the time. I remember seeing it when I was younger. It was amazing. This song by OK Go, a huge contraption, ridiculous, and it was over the top. Mythbusters did one. I would have done this one, but the video quality is terrible, but it is kind of funny. You could watch that one. This one is a photo booth, right? Great one. I didn't watch this one. That's kind of a neat one. The Toy Factory. And then the one I watched, no, I didn't watch that one. Oh, this one, somebody made it in Minecraft. I mean, great. You could do something cool. This is a person. So even things like complex robotic factory lines like this one are actually Rube Goldberg because it's going to change. So I like this person. They did Lego modules. Oh my gosh, this guy is crazy if you watch it. So it's going to like pick up all these things. I'll jump kind of around. Did a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Going to take it around. I'll skip a little bit. You get this little sorter machine, brings it up, conveyor belt across, sorts it one side to the other. Just ridiculously crazy. This thing is so complex. Little wiggly thing that brings it up. I mean, watch this video of what this person does. It's insane. The Lego ball sorting contraptions, crazy cool. And then this one, I thought this was funny. I didn't put this one in here. It's about 7 minutes. Ridiculously silly. Another fun one to watch. It's just, it's over the top, crazy, and it almost does the most useless thing just to show what it can do. Kind of fun. All right, so there are so many neat different ideas. There are so many different things you can do. What you decide to do is up to you. What you want to do is up to you. Just remember, keep it simple. Okay, think easy and simple, like pressing a button, launching a marshmallow off a spoon, something simple. Keep it simple, think silly, okay? But don't try to make it overly complex. And I know that's the problem I had when I did this, is I would over-engineer it. I would make it way too hard. Keep it simple, get the little basic things going, and once you get the basic pieces going, then you can expand on it, and then add to it, then make it even sillier. Please don't use fire, that'd be a bad idea, okay? I'm not advocating using it, I just showed that one, just happened to have fuses. It was kind of a cool little one. It was a short and easy one. The rest of them were a little bit more complex. But think about what you can do. Think simple, keep it simple, and be as creative and as silly as you want. This is the time you get to be creative and silly. All right? So that ends our Rube Goldberg project. Now,